Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Natasha Oquendo. Welcome to my channel. Listen, I wanted to, first of all, celebrate with you all. I have turned 50. Yay! I'm actually excited about that. So listen, with me turning 50, I wanted to share a few things, and this may be a series, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so you can get the new videos, right? So you can get it first. But I was really thinking about this and kind of reflecting and meditating on this about turning 50. So I decided to share some nuggets of wisdom, things that I have learned as I have turned 50. And so I'll just share a few of them for the sake of time, right? I don't want to keep you long, and then I have things to do myself. So listen, the first thing I wanted to share is pay attention to your life choices. Like whatever stage, we know that life is a process within itself, right? But when I say pay attention to your life choices, I mean this. And what made me think about this is because I actually had to share this with somebody. It kind of took me on a real journey, right? But I was telling them that the stage of life that they're in now, that very moment, the very moment that we are all standing in our life right now, is the results of decisions that we made many years before. And I could remember being in my early 20s, right? We kind of reckless with decisions. We kind of do stuff impulsively, should I say, and on a whim. But what I've come to find out is a lot of those choices that we make affect us many years from then. And we're not thinking on that capacity or thinking at that level at that time. Decisions that we make at early 20, 30, we living it out at 40 and 50, right? And so even at the age 50 right now, the moment that I'm standing in is based on choices that I made years prior to. But I'm mindful now, very mindful of the choices that I'm making right now in order for my future, right? And so I'm saying that to say, if you're in your early 20s, 30s, even early 40s, really start paying attention to your life choices. And I when I say life choices, let me kind of go into that just a little bit. We'll make choices for education. We'll make choices for jobs that we want, stuff like that. But when I say life choices, I mean, let me give you an example. I look at my body, right? And I remember being a person who was did sports. I remember I used to, pick up heavy stuff because I had this tomboy thing going on earlier on, right? And always had this like natural strength, right? I know I don't look like it, but I had this real natural strength. And so, you would pick up the heavy things and all of that. And I'm being real right now, but now, and you would throw and toss them heavy things around. I was the oldest girl on the side of a family full of boy cousins. And all of them were built like little mini Hercules. And I used to keep up with the best of them, right? Majority, if not all of them, was pretty scared of me back then. And I was a little old bitty thing. But I had this strength that was just crazy. And so I'm saying that to say I would do all of these different things that I should not have been doing, like picking up heavy stuff, lifting up heavy furniture on my own and doing all these type of things. And now my body kind of paying for it, right? And I know somebody can relate to that. So I'm saying that to say, and that's just one avenue of it. I think about having a hot temper, right? I would say grab a hold to that early as possible. Reason being, Of course, we know the repercussions where you can get yourself in trouble and all of that. But I'm talking about the wear and tear on your body and on your mental faculties and on your emotional faculties, right? And so at the time, we have all the energy in the world. We high strung at the time, not knowing that at some point in life, these things slow walk you down and that they can negatively affect you later on, even though you're not feeling the repercussions early on, if that makes sense. And so those are just some of the things. Like I say, it's good to get over into the self-care thing. And if you follow me, you can go to my podcast, and I did a whole segment on self-care, 4 areas of self-care, right? And so when I say pay attention to life choices, I really mean that, right? And I thought that was a real good one to start with. And so number 2, I have start a healthy lifestyle as early as possible. Oh, I can't reiterate this one enough. Start an healthy lifestyle as early as possible. What I have learned now that I wish I had exercised early on, in my early years, like I said, I was athletic. I played basketball, I played volleyball, I ran track, did a little bit of cheerleading. I think I even played tennis for a little bit. All type of stuff. Took taekwondo, karate, kickboxing, all type of stuff like that early on, right? And so even on into my early 20s, I still was running, right? I still would run. But then I remember a stage, and this is once I got saved and really sold out. I was just so dedicated to the process of faith that I kind of let the ball drop when it came to living that healthy lifestyle. Now, somebody who is a person of faith probably can relate to this. And so with that being said, because of all the things that they put in the foods and stuff now, it throws your hormones out of whack really, really early now. Before you get to the perimenopausal stages, and I do believe that men go through a menopausal stage as well. I forget what they call it, but they go through something as well. But I'm saying that to say, start early as possible. Even if you're later on in your years with me, start now. I feel like it's never too late to shift and change. Reason being, and I try to get my daughters, they're in their, they're getting ready to hit their mid-20s, but I'm trying to get them to implement certain things now so that when you get my age, you don't feel like you're trying to catch up, right? Because that's the stage. And like I say, it's happening earlier with people. And I just wasn't just a horrible eater to begin with, but I wish I had really, really, really put a regimen in place early on and stuck with that, right? Put a life plan in place early on and stuck with that when it comes to healthy eating, exercising, and all of that. So now here I am trying to get back into the groove of things, and you hit and miss, right? But for the most part, to be at that optimal health, especially at this stage of my life where I'm trying to really push my vision and purpose, right? After raising my daughters and all of that, really trying to dig my heels in deep. Somebody can relate to that. But literally start a healthy lifestyle as early as possible. These are things that I've learned that I wish I had implemented earlier on, right? And I mean, been devout in it, been very disciplined in it. Number 3, read the fine print. Oh, I learned this. Read the fine print, read the labels, read all that stuff on the back of food labels, on drink labels. And I'll say even shampoo labels and all of that. And I see us shifting as a society, as a as a world into a more healthy regimen. But I can honestly say the things we see cancer being more prevalent than it ever has been. And I remember one year, I was in the shower and I was washing my hair. And, was dealing with some itchy scalp or whatever. So I had got this shampoo, and it was supposed to be like tea tree oil and, in the shampoo, tea tree and all that. It's supposed to be good for you, right? And so I just so happened to be looking at the back of the label and reading it. And literally it said on the back of the label that it had ingredients that could cause cancer. This was in a shampoo. And so it's a good thing to see how people are doing natural shampoos, natural lotions and butters and stuff like that. I would say even look into the ingredients concerning makeup that we wear and all of that. So I know that blew my mind. And so I learned that to really start looking at the fine print, look at labels. You know what I'm saying? Read what's going into your body. Read about what's, and if it's something that you don't, if it's a long word that you can't even pronounce, Google it, look it up, see more about it. Be conscious about that, because I'm telling you, I wish I had paid attention early on. Cause like I say, right? Probably could be at more optimal health if we, but I'm catching it. We catching up. We playing catch up. I'm saying it for those who may be, in your mid 20s and 30s, you can start earlier. Sooner than later is better, right? Number 4. Now this one right here, I'm a stickler for. Number 4, get connected and stay connected to someone who has wisdom. I can't reiterate this one enough. Get connected and stay connected to someone who has wisdom. I say that because I have always had an ear for wisdom. I never mind hearing somebody tell me something, right? Especially if it's something for my good. A lot of times we focus on the delivery. I've had people tell me some good stuff and the delivery was not all that great, but I knew how to grab a hold to what was being said and hold on to it, right? And not rebel against it. A lot of us now, we focus so much on the delivery or how it's said and not focused on what's being said to us. And we start resisting and start defending our own honor and have this defense mechanism up. And we miss opportunities for great wisdom, right? This is something that I've learned because I've sat under wisdom being given to me. Now I'm being in a position to give out a lot of wisdom. But I say that God have entrusted me with that because I was able to sit under the spout of wisdom. I can't tell you how much I've learned. And when I say that, because many of us try to, we like to learn from experience. It's like there were a lot of things that I learned from the experiences of others. Wisdom is always crying out in the streets. That's what it says in Proverbs, I believe, chapter 8. But I early on would look at people's lives and look at different things they had gone through. And I'll give you one example. I knew that I was not one that just wanted to be doing drugs, just drinking and whatever. I went through a real small window of trying to drink or whatever, but my tolerance for drinking and drugs and all that, I just never had that tolerance. But I was around and front seat to a lot of people who had. And I paid attention from early on to how their lives went. So to me, that was wisdom that was crying out. And I said, no, I don't need to do that. Right. Now, there are some things, like I say, I bumped my head. And I know, both sides of that. when wisdom is telling you not to do something and you do it anyway, and then you go through the repercussions of it. And so I know that side of it as well, right? How things come back, but don't be offended by wisdom. Always be open for it. It can literally save your life in instances, literally. It can intervene and intercept some things that could have been headed your way, right? To really just try to wipe you out or really try to mess you up or throw your life all the way off. And somebody can relate to this. We've all done it. Wisdom would speak. We didn't like the delivery. We didn't like who it came from. We didn't even like what was said. We didn't like because we felt like they think they know our business. We didn't like that. But we know how it is when we take heed, and we know how it is when we didn't. And so even to this day, I keep my ears open for wisdom. Doesn't matter where it's come from or who for me. I just need to hear the wisdom. I need to hear it, and I need to be sensitive to it. And that's something that I take very, very serious, right? And this will go into my last one for this particular segment. Learn to help you live. Learn to help you live. Don't just live and learn. That kind of connects with what I just said. Learn for the purpose of helping you live. But don't just live and learn. You know, that's a saying, people, where you live and learn. Listen, the day and age that we living in, you have to be intentional about your life. You have to be serious, and you have to be intentional about your life, because people are leaving here very, very early and too soon in most cases to me. So you learn, meaning learn from your mistakes, right? Learn from those who have wisdom, right? Don't ever get to a place where you think that you're not teachable. And that's what it boils down to, right? Because somebody can always teach us something. And so I'm saying that to say this was something that I learned as an important nugget that I learned in order to live. That's going to help me live. So different things that I've learned, even scripture, learning scripture to help me live, learning from messages being preached, things that are being taught, lifestyles that are being lived out before me, all of that. The things that we see going on in this life, right? Learning in order to live better and to be a better person, right? Not just living to learn. Don't let life just happen to you is the point I want to make. Kind of take control of your life, right? Take control of your life. Learn in order to apply it to your life so that your life can progress and move forward. Not so you can stay on this hamster wheel or stay on this cycle of life and this cycle of confusion and cycle of negativity and cycle of surprise and, just everything always happening to me and not happening for me, right? And so these are just a few nuggets that I decided to share as I hit 50. Listen, y'all, I don't feel bad about aging, right? I feel pretty good about it. So I'm excited. I know 50 for me, the number 50 means jubilee. It means celebration. And so, listen, I plan to do just that. I plan to let this be the beginning of a greater level of jubilee and celebration of life for me. Listen, till next time, I'm going to give some more nuggets because I learned a whole lot up into the age 50, right? Listen, stay in tune with me. Be blessed. And until next time, have a great one. Love you.